The storm rolled across the alien plains like a living creature, swallowing the horizon in sheets of violet lightning. The air crackled with static, and every instinct screamed at Ethan Ward, former engineer, now stranded explorer, to find cover before the atmosphere ripped him apart. His suit's alert chimed again. Extreme electroionic distortion detected. Seek shelter immediately. I know, Ethan shouted at the useless voice, struggling against the wind. He had been separated from his crew during an unauthorized scouting mission on planet Saria 9. They were somewhere miles behind, perhaps safe on the shuttle, or perhaps gone.
He couldn't think about that now.
If he didn't find shelter soon, he wouldn't live long enough to grieve. Through the swirling haze, Ethan spotted a jagged rock formation carved into a kind of canyon mouth. A faint, warm glow flickered inside. Shelter? Or a trap? He didn't care anymore. Death outside was guaranteed. Danger inside was a gamble. He sprinted. The moment he crossed the threshold, the storm's fury muted. The glow brightened, illuminating an astonishing sight. A subterranean refuge of carved stone, metal conduits, and soft, rolling light sources. Someone or something lived here. A sharp voice echoed behind him. Turn around slowly. Hands where I can see them. Ethan stiffened. He raised his hands and turned. A spear, humming with blue energy, pointed at his throat. Behind it stood a woman, tall, elegant, armored in dark metal and obsidian scales. Her eyes shifted like molten silver. Her hair shimmered with faint bioluminescence. A humanoid alien, powerful, regal, and dangerous. She stared at him without blinking. You are not of my world. No argument here, Ethan breathed. I'm just seeking shelter. She didn't lower the spear. You brought the storm.
What? No.
I barely survived it. She looked him over, expression unreadable. Then she stepped closer, studying his human features as if cataloging a new species. You are small, she finally said. Ethan winced.
Wow.
Nice to meet you too. There was a long pause, then a small laugh escaped her, surprising even herself. My name is Arinia Voss, Princess of the Saurian Dominion, she declared. This sanctuary is mine. Ethan swallowed. Ethan Ward. Lost explorer, apparently professional trouble magnet. Another rumble shook the chamber. Arinia's eyes moved to the storm outside. You will not survive out there, she admitted reluctantly. You will stay, but you follow my orders. Ethan nodded quickly.
Deal.
Staying alive sounds like a good plan. Chapter 2. The Princess Takes Charge. Arinia guided him deeper through the sanctuary, a vast network of halls filled with dormant technology. Ancient turbines pulsed softly in the walls, powering everything with energy Ethan couldn't name. You built all this? Ethan asked. I maintain it. It is the last functioning shelter of the ancient Saurian architects. She glanced at him. Outside these walls, the Dominion has fallen. Her tone carried pain, not weakness, but a wound never acknowledged aloud. They reached a central chamber lined with supplies, small beds, and control panels. She motioned to one. You may rest there. Do not wander. Ethan should have felt safe, but his mind returned to his crew. I need to get a signal out, he said. My team is gone, Arinia stated sharply. The storm that brought you down has consumed everything around your entry point. No living form remains. Ethan felt the world collapse around him. He sat heavily on the stone bed, staring at the floor. Arinia watched him in silence, calculating, but not cold. You feel grief, she said. Yeah, Ethan whispered. And guilt. She didn't reach out, but something in her posture softened. Saria kills all who underestimate her. You should not blame yourself. A sudden alarm blared, a warbling siren from deep within the walls. Arinya immediately returned to command mode. Follow me.
Now.
Chapter 3. The Threat Within. They rushed through the tunnels toward a sealed gate. Arinya slammed her palm against a scanner, and screens flickered to life. Ethan saw dark figures approaching. Not humanoid, but hulking, quadrupedal creatures with claws of crystalline bone. What are those? Ravagers. They hunt the storm. They sense life. Ethan's pulse spiked. They're coming here?
Yes.
They always come, and I will stop them. She lifted her spear and prepared to open the outer barrier. Hold on. Ethan grabbed her wrist. You can't fight them alone. I have before. And came back injured, Ethan said, pointing to the faint scars on her armor. She froze, shocked someone noticed. I'm an engineer, not a soldier, he continued. But I can help reinforce defenses. Or repair the shield transmitters. Or get yourself killed. Maybe. But I won't sit while someone else fights for me. Arinya stared long and hard, then slowly nodded. You will assist. The gate locks disengaged. Chapter 4. Earth Logic versus Alien Warriors. They sprinted to the shield controls, a panel sparking violently, its crystal capacitors burned out. The Ravagers were already clawing at the far barrier. Shield must be raised in 90 seconds. Arinya shouted. Ethan ripped open a panel. Thousands of unknown connectors and conduits stared back. Tell me how this tech works. There is no time to teach. He cursed. Then I'll improvise. He pulled tools from his suit and started bridging systems manually, bypassing failed circuits with conductive alloys. Arinya watched him in disbelief. You're guessing. Every good engineer is a professional guesser. The barrier cracked under impact, claws slicing through. Ethan, Arinya cried. Just one more connection. He slammed the last wire into the crystal core. The entire chamber erupted with blue light. The shield flared to full power, sending every Ravager flying backward in a wave of energy. Silence fell. Arinya approached him slowly. You saved my life. Ethan laughed weakly. You saved mine first. I call it even. But her expression said she didn't believe that. Chapter 5. Shelter no longer temporary. The storm subsided. The Ravagers retreated. For the first time since landing on Saria, Ethan felt safe. He expected Arinya to tell him to leave. Instead, she sat beside him. You did not freeze, she murmured. You did not cower, even knowing you could die. That's not bravery, Ethan replied. That's refusing to let someone else stand alone. Arinya studied him carefully, almost reverently. In my world, she said quietly, strength means dominance. Fearlessness. Victory. She shook her head. But you showed a different strength. One I have never known. What kind's that? Loyalty without obligation, she whispered. Ethan didn't know what to say. You came to my world seeking shelter, she continued. But perhaps destiny brought you, for another reason. She stood, extending her hand. You do not have to leave. There is room in my dominion for one who stands beside me, not beneath me. Ethan looked up at her, at the warrior who had threatened him, saved him, trusted him, and ultimately learned from him. He took her hand. I'll stay. Her reaction wasn't dramatic, but her eyes shone, her posture relaxed, and something almost like hope flickered across her face. The storm outside quieted, as if acknowledging the new partnership. And deep in the planet's core, dormant systems pulsed, awakened by the bond between human resolve and alien royalty. Ending. Ethan had come to Saria seeking shelter. He found purpose. Arinya had built her throne alone.
She no longer had to.
Together, they would face storms, ravagers, and whatever remained of the Saurian dominion, not as princess and subject, but as equals in a world that respected neither weakness nor fear. And though neither said it aloud, they both knew the universe had changed the moment they met.